Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to a birthday eve stream on the Master and Drum. What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing all right tonight. Tonight, it's all about some good birthday pours. Plus, we're gonna have a blind tasting. We're gonna have just cracking open a bunch of new bottles, and you guys get to have me run around the whiskey room like crazy, doing some fun comparisons like you guys love for me to do. So I think it's a good night for you guys to come up with some good ideas for some fun comparisons, some fun takes on some whiskeys, some bourbons, and we're going to be cracking open the E.H. Taylor Cured Oak, which I'm really excited. Just got this bottle, excited to try this one with you guys, and a bottle that I've been really looking forward to trying, the new Bruichladdich Yellow Submarine, which has a quite the history. If you guys don't know what that bottle is, what it means, we'll kind of go through that a little bit. Uncle Nearest versus Dickel. Hey, Dr. Sped with the first super $49. Thank you so much. Old enough for readers, young enough for denial. You know what, Dr. Sped? You can't. That's going to be the most true statement of the night. It's my last year in my 40s. I'm kind of freaking out about it. Did you guys ever have like an age where you hit it, like, and then you just realize that this is your last year in your 40s? Even when like you were in your 30s and you're hitting 40, it was like like when you're 39 and you realize, holy crap, this might be my last year in my third. So considering I'm going to be 50 years old next year is kind of crazy to think about. It really is. Hidden Barn versus Field of Dreams. Yes. Hit me going into 30, says Mr. Play BWA. Yeah. I had that when I was 9, says Nathan. Yeah, everybody does. Nobody likes to hit double digits, Nathan. Robert Service says 19 and then downhill. Nice. Big Vic says, happy birthday. I'm not a baller. Thank you so much, Big Vic. It's no big deal. I turned 51 this past March, says Trucker. What does that say? Trucker B. Sprizzy. It's no big deal. I turned 51 this. Okay, cool, man. Thanks. I appreciate that. 4-Leaf Whiskey. Stacy's here. I freaked out at 40 and 50. I assume I'm still 29. I feel like I still have the mental capacity of a 12-year-old sometimes. Giggle at stupid jokes, stuff like that. Jason, I'm right there with you. I will be 50 in January. There you go, Appalachian Bourbon Society. Happy birthday, JC. Quick question. Virginia Lottery. Oh, hold on a second. Virginia Lottery has Pride of Anderson County for $250 or Black Maple Hill Bourbon 16-year for $4.99. Honestly, I feel like letting this one go, but wanted your thoughts. Matthew, if it's this year's Pride of Anderson County, do not pay. I wouldn't pay the $250 for it. Black Maple Hill, I have not tried that particular 16-year, so it's hard for me to say no to that. It sounds delicious. I don't know if anybody else in the chat has had it. But as far as the Pride of Anderson County, do not buy that for $250. To be fair, I would have guessed your age. I would have guessed a bit less, so you got that going for you. Yes, my Italian family ages pretty well, so we got that going for us, for sure. We're not tall, but we look young, so there's that. At 50, you'll start getting AARP material. That's a wake-up call. Yeah, just turned 54 on the 3rd. Just a good excuse to get a good bottle. Hell yeah, dude. Blend all your birthday bourbons together. This is the only one I have. This is the only birthday bourbon I have. I'm not a birthday bourbon guy, but, Justin Mills with a $20 super chat, enjoying a little Russell's 15 in your honor. There you go. May you have a bespoke 49th year. I love it. Barbecue Ed. You're not over the hill yet, but you have a hell of a view from where you're standing. Oh, there you go. I don't mind that. Thank you, Barbecue Ed. Love you, dude. Eric Snyder, happy birthday, Jason. I don't mind being 50 as long as I can afford not to look 50. Yeah, there you go. That's where it's at. Empty Suit. Took the Wild Turkey Rickhouse tour with Bo Garrett over the holiday. He gave you a few shout-outs. Great tour, great dude. Hope you have an awesome day. That's because Bo Garrett is the greatest. I don't know if you meant to give me 2 super chats, Empty Suit. You probably didn't, but, thanks so much for that. Appreciate that. Let's see who else is in the chat here tonight, guys. We have... Thanks, guys, for all the crazy super chats. It's makes me feel very special. Really appreciate that, guys. Just you guys being here and hanging out. It's been really cool. On my 8th year, Year number 8 on Whiskey Tube on YouTube. Just pretty crazy to think too. Matt's Pal says, "Wait, what, dude? We have the same birthday?" Matt, my birthday's actually tomorrow, so I'm getting there. So let's see. We got JG, obviously Barbecue Ed. We said hi to. We got Travis Robeson. Happy birthday to my 6'5" brother from the Bronx. I guess from the Bronx. You have to reverse that. It's more like 5'6". Happy birthday, cuz. I got a bag of gummy bears for you next time I see you. There you go, JD. Nice to see you, man. Philosophize is here. Tim Romero, my bourbon buddy. We got EMC rolls. Cheers, y'all. Remember to mash it up and lock in for Alzheimer's August 9th. Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that. John Farron is here, having a pour of EHT barrel proof in your honor. Thank you so much, John. Let's see. 96 Milliman. We have Sandeep Chima is here. James Lay. Freeport Steve. What's going on, man? Nice to see you. Justin Jenkins is here. What's up, Justin? Hope you're doing well. Rare Breed is here. We have J to the Low. We said hi to Stacy. Nice to see you. M. Digler is here. Robert Schemmer. Jason Cruitt. What's up, Jason K? Ham Turkey. Tim Cornet. Let's see. Jared OC. Not to kiss ass, but I've never guessed 49. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Reesmash. Hope everyone had an amazing 4th of July. Evan Williams 250th in glass tonight to keep it going. Love that. Bourbon and Burns is here. Caleb Seltzer. Let's see. Dr. Sped we said hi to. Reesmash. The Wolf of Bourbon Street 7943 is here. We got Abrod, Nathan Jurgensen. He's got a little Camp Nelson E in the Glen. Kind of dig that. I kind of thought maybe tonight I could maybe pull out some of my whiskeys of the year and like put them head to head with some of like the best ones from this year so far to see how they stack up. That might be fun to do later. I also have a blind tasting I'm going to be doing from Big Vic, so that'll be fun. James Morgan, Volt Blue is here, Devin Bear, and a bunch more people coming in. So we will have to catch up on super chats as well. Reesmash, I turned 50 in August. I feel your pain. Thanks so much, man. Italians, Scandinavians, and Asians, for whatever reason, seem to hold their age very well. I didn't know you were 49, Jason. I would have guessed mid-40s or, mid to early 40s. Okay, I'll take it. Jeff Winbush, party like a rock star. Drum. Love it. Up in Smoke Tamales is here. Oh, that smells. I'm sorry, that smells. That sounds delicious right now. I could go for a good tamale. I don't remember. The last time I had a good tamale, I was literally in New York like years ago. I miss tamales. So good. Yeah, the last good tamale I had was when I was dating some of those Puerto Rican girls, and their abuelas was making some really good tamales. Good shit. Miss it. Love it. All right, I'm going to kick it off with a little Old Forester birthday bourbon. This is the 2020. This is the 12 year, but I believe this is from 2018, this one. What's up, Whiskey Nose? That yellow bottle looks like something you have to use at the doctor's office. I know, there's a lot of yellow on the table right now. This is pretty yellow. H4, look at the H statement on it. That big red thing says age 14 years. Hard to find a good tamale in Ohio. Stacy, you're not lying. A lot of tacos in Ohio, but not tamales. At least not good tamales. This is probably still my favorite birthday bourbon. Probably still my favorite one that I've had personally. I haven't had a lot of the earlier ones. I'm sure there's some better ones than this. There could be, but I feel like every single one I've had since this one has been kind of a disappointment, to be honest. As my grandmother used to say, getting old is a bitch, but not getting there is a real shame. Oh, that's a good way to look at it. All right, guys, cheers. Welcome in. Let's have some fun tonight. Let's hang out. Let's just have some great pours. I'll do a fun blind, and we're going to crack these open here in a second. In celebration of your birthday, your 5 best birthday desserts. Jason, if you're ever in Colorado Springs, I got you. All right, dude. I will remember that. Up in Smoke. I do actually go to Colorado a little bit, so that might come sooner than you think. Let's see. 5 top desserts. Dude. For my birthday, here's the thing, guys. I'm not a huge dessert person. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's true. Like, there's certain things that I crave here and there. Um, honestly, nothing beats like a good like apple pie with vanilla, like a warm apple pie with vanilla ice cream on it. That's like that's just always, or apple crisp or something like that with vanilla ice cream. I could do that. Not like a big cake guy, not like, I don't know. But yeah, warm apple pie with some vanilla ice cream on, maybe a creme brulee, like a good creme brulee. Creme brulee is delicious. I love tiramisu. I'm mostly into like Italian pastries. I can go for like just give me like the best cannoli ever. Give me a pastry lobster tail. I could eat those all day long. Stuff like that. All my stuff. Cannoli, biscotti. Oh yeah, I mean yeah, biscotti. A good apple strudel. Um, Rainbow cookies. Love old school rainbow cookie, Italian rainbow cookies. Um, yeah, dude. Molten chocolate cake. Lobster for dessert. Yeah, Mr. Play. There's a Italian pastry called the lobster tail because it's like layers of very thin pastry, and it's literally shaped like it looks like a lobster tail. You can look it up. You'll see why it's called a lobster tail. My wife makes killer biscotti. Names 20 favorite desserts. not not like, I'm just saying like these are the desserts I like. I don't like I don't have to have them on my birthday or like crave them, like, I don't know. It's, you know what I mean. Oh, Entenmann's chocolate chip cookies, Eric Snyder. That's a great call out. The little Entenmann's chocolate chip cookies. Maybe I am a dessert guy. Epiphanies at 49 years old. I love it. All right. I'm going to have to yell at my Italian friends for not telling me about these things, Mr. Play. Yeah. Yeah, you should, because they're delicious. Let's get to drinks first. Okay. Let's put this away. I had my birthday bourbon. I'm gonna get into this Colonel Taylor. Why not? Let's try this out here, because we got to get to a blind. We got to do some comparisons. Here it is, the Colonel E.H. Taylor Cured Oak. Why is it cured oak, do you say? What makes it so special? It's because Buffalo Trace, as far as they say, air dry their staves to make this for, I believe it's 13 months, more than twice the standard curing time, which is interesting because if you ever had a Michter's product, Michter's does 18 months as their standard. Michter's does 18 to 60 months air drying for their barrels. So 13 from Buffalo Trace doesn't sound impressive, but it makes everybody go apeshit because it's Buffalo Trace. So, just being honest. I'm just saying. So it's cured less than the Michter. Exactly, Nathan. That's what I'm saying. It is cured less than the Michter stuff. Yet we make a giant big deal about this, versus the Michter stuff. But that's what it is. For the chat, do you keep the E.H. Taylor canisters? It's a good question. I keep them. All right. Now, here's the thing, guys. I don't have the original cured oak, so I have nothing to base this off of. If I remember correctly, I do think I did enjoy this when I had this in a blind. But sorry guys, I meant to turn that on. Got to put on the bottle cam for you guys. You're gonna see a lot of yellow here, but let's get that should pop on here in a second. There we go. There it is, guys. The Colonel E.H. Taylor Cured Oak, just so you could see it up close and personal. Bottled in bond, of course, everything 100 proof. You have your picture of the grumpy old man there. There's Colonel E.H. Taylor hanging out, having fun. Then, of course, the Colonel E.H. Taylor Distillery. So there it is, Colonel E.H. Taylor Cured Oak. Easy peasy. I don't keep the EHT whiskey, let alone the tube, says Nathan. Current Cured Oak is just okay. All right, let's get into this here a little bit. So at 100 proof, The latest release feature, this is a 10-year age statement from the original 2015 release, which was 17 years. Holy shit. I didn't realize it was that far off. So this is 10 years versus the original, which was 17. So, I mean, all right, here's the thing. You know, Buffalo Trace, I'm glad like you kind of brought this back. It's kind of cool. Gives people a chance to get it. But I don't know. I feel like if you're going to bring out a lesser age statement of this stuff, at least go 12. 10 just doesn't feel, especially in today's time. Now, if we're talking 5, 6, 7 years ago, 10 years from Buffalo Trace, yeah, people would lose their shit. But 10 years now, I mean, there's 15, 20, all this shit coming out constantly. So 10 years doesn't really feel as special as a 17-year would have. However, if Buffalo Trace did release this at 17 years old, again, people would have lost their minds even more. I mean, let's be honest. An old man on the bottle, a sure sign of quality whiskey. That is true. So I will say it does give the Buffalo Trace a little bit of a different profile. I do think that it does carry more wood sugar, more wood spice than I feel like you would normally get from Buffalo Trace, which I think is a good thing. It definitely makes it interesting. The dilemma is that it can't be better than BTAC E.H. Taylor. Oh no, I totally get that. That's why I was saying at least maybe what was E.H. Taylor this past year? 14 years? I think it was 14, or was it 15? Somebody check me in the chat on that. I think it was 14 or 15. That's why I'm saying this is, even though it's an E.H. Taylor product, but at the same time it was 15. Thanks, Nathan. I feel like it could have been at least 12 just to kind of make this feel a little bit more. It's not like they don't have the whiskey. That's a pretty bottle of Eagle Rare. Yeah, I mean, essentially. Well, it's Eagle Rare with 13-month cured staves, Barbecue Ed. So I really want to like whiskey. I've tried it on ice, smoked, cheap, expensive. Any recommendations to try? I like vodka and gin drinks. I'm a Modelo man, says Bluegill Barbecue 18. I'm a Modelo man. So I really want to like whiskey. Dude, man, I tried it on ice, smoked, cheap, expensive. Any recommendations to try? I like vodka and gin drinks. Just based off that, dude, I would probably just start drinking bourbon with cocktails. Try different bourbon cocktails. Bourbon smash, old fashioned. You could make a Manhattan with bourbon. Just acclimate. If you're already drinking some cocktails with gin and vodka, try to acclimate yourself to bourbon with just cocktails. I think cocktails is actually a great gateway because once, now if your palate keeps to that sweetness, there's always going to be a great transition if you want to get into just regular bourbon. Honestly, if I could recommend just something really sweet and simple, it would actually be a regular bottle of Buffalo Trace. The 90 proof, easy sipper, put a block of ice in that. That's the other thing I think people miss. Don't put it with a bunch of ice. Just put like one big block of ice in a glass of Buffalo Trace. Let it melt a little bit. Get watered down so you can acclimate to a little bit more. But getting started in bourbon and cocktails, I think, is actually a really good way to get into bourbon. Paper plane, yep. I started with old-fashioned drinks years ago. Yeah, I think that's probably the best gateway is to just start with different cocktails. And then as you get used to the bourbon flavor within the cocktails, then you start getting into, then try drinking bourbon straight after that. What's up, Bourbon Jerks? Ken Davis. Yeah, Angel's Envy, I think could be a good start, but Angel's Envy is finished in the port wine, which I think gives it a different flavor. I'd rather him, try cocktails and then go into something non-finished just so we could taste like the genuine flavors. Also, putting bourbon in just Coca-Cola is actually a good way to taste the caramels and the straight, like just your basic flavors, caramels and vanillas, and a little bit of oak, just mixed with a Coca-Cola. Because you don't get a lot of the alcohol when you're drinking that, but you do taste the Coke actually kind of masks the, some of the other flavors in the bourbon, but you could just get straight caramel and toffee and vanilla. It's like drinking a vanilla Coke in some ways. So you kind of get used to it in that sense too. So there's definitely a lot of different avenues you can go. Or you could just do what Dahl says. Force yourself to drink barrel-proof bourbon until you can stand it. Be a man. There you go. All right, let's try this, guys. Cheers. All right. Okay. A little darker. It's definitely a spicier profile. I think that oak spice is there from the cured wood, cured oak, whatever you want to call it. It's got a definite oak spice. I think it does lose some of like that classic Colonel Taylor cherry for me, though. Like, I mean, cherry in Buffalo Trace just, and even sometimes, as you guys know, like Eagle Rare and some things like that get into like cherry and grape. But, getting into Buffalo Trace, Evan Williams, Balmont are good starters. Yep. Hey, thanks, Matt Robinson. Expect to see you at Four Roses release. I wish I could make it there, Bourbon Politico, but I can't. If I can get a proxy to grab me one of those bottles, I would. But, yeah, I would love to get my hands on that anthology, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know if I'm getting the cherry or the grape here. Maybe a little bit on the cherry, but this to me is definitely a spicier profile, which I like. More oak spice through and through, a little bit more baking spice, black pepper, borders on like a little bit of like a sweet chili pepper, which I kind of like. One more question. My buddy's a huge whiskey guy, has over 25 bottles from cheap to expensive. What's a good housewarming bottle? A good housewarming bottle? I mean, yeah, depending on where you live. I mean, everybody loves, we just talked about Eagle Rare, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Let's see, what else? Blanton's. Blanton's is always, a great gift giving bottle, even though, it's kind of okay whiskey. What else? Yeah, I mean, yeah, Buffalo Trace, anything from Heaven Hill. There's so many good options these days. It's kind of hard to pick one now. But honestly, I would probably go with if it was me, I would go with a turkey product, whether it be Wild Turkey Rare Breed or Russell's Reserve Single Barrel. But I think those two, then you have, obviously anything from Buffalo Trace is always good. Blanton's, if you could find it, or Eagle Rare, if you could find it. Those are always great housewarming gifts. I genuinely think that this is a kind of a B. If I had to give it a letter grade, it's kind of a B, maybe a C plus at best. It's okay. It's good. I don't like what I paid for it to get one, but it is what it is. I'll do a full review on this one, but it's just it's just lacking the flavors I like in Buffalo Trace. The oak spice is really taking over. Now it's kind of interesting because normally when you air dry, you're actually taking a lot more impurities out from the oak, but I feel like in this case it made it spicier. Either it's that, or it's just the 10-year distillate that they put in here to make this particular blend. Hey, what's up, Gunderson? Nice to see you, man. Is that cured oak better than Eagle Rare 12? Let's find out. Oh. What's a good alternative for Eagle Rare that you can only find in Kentucky? Trying to find something different for my boss for his birthday. that you can only find in Kentucky. A good alternative to Eagle Rare that you can only find in Kentucky. That's interesting. Man. I don't know. What's up, Mark M. Necker? Thanks, man. I don't know. That's a good question. I'd have to think on that. Only find in Kentucky. I mean, only find in Kentucky is, you know, I'm actually looking here. I think there are some, I know it's going to sound weird, but actually Evan Williams has really interesting releases that you can only find in Kentucky, particularly the Evan Williams 12 year or the Evan Williams 23 year. The problem is you just don't know when they're going to release it. I'm not sure if you do certain tours at Evan Williams these days that you can actually buy at Evan Williams 12 year, but I would put that right up there as something that you can only find in Kentucky that's really good. You don't really see Evan Williams 12 year or Evan Williams 23 outside of that too often. Old Forester does a ton of, you know, if you're lucky, you can walk in, get a Old Forester 117, a barrel proof pick, something from Old Forester you can possibly get. Four Roses does the same thing. Four Roses, if you go to that distillery, you go to the gift shop, they drop a bunch of private selects that you can pick up if you would like, which is pretty cool as well. So there are some good, I'm not saying they're the best Eagle Rare alternatives in particular, but there are a lot of exclusive bottles you can pick up in Kentucky for sure. Jackson Purchase, yeah, but I mean is Jackson Purchase only in Kentucky right now? That's actually that's an interesting idea. You can check for Evan Williams 12 year at Neat. When I was there, it was cheaper than at the distillery. Oh, that's cool. Okay. That's cool. There you go. All right, let's try the Eagle Rare 12 year. See, Eagle Rare 12 year. Even though I believe that Eagle Rare 12 year does carry a little bit more oak than your standard Eagle Rare, even though it's only 2 years older, I still feel like it has the grapey cherry now and later. Remember the now and laters? I almost said Jolly Rancher. I'm not going Jolly Rancher. It's more the now and later candies. The that chewy thing that used to get stuck in your teeth. That's what this smells like. A fresh pack of grape now and laters. Yeah, the Eagle Rare 12 year is definitely sweeter than the cured oak. Actually, coming off the Eagle Rare, the cured oak got a little bit sweeter. Maybe it's just coming off of that helps a little bit. I just bought a Jackson Purchase Cast Strength Louisiana. Oh, okay, cool. Taste and sensibility. Japan, Evan Williams 12 year is a buy every time at $40. How does it compare to Old Charter oak? I only have the finest oak. I have the French oak somewhere, but here's finest oak. We're already doing this. We're already just like sending me around the whiskey room. Okay. I'm not going to do a big pour of this because it's so fine. It's the finest oak ever. See, the finest oak does nothing for me. The finest oak, it's like drinking juice. I mean, finest oak is good, but it's just there's just nothing to it except sweet. I'm not getting really any of the finest oak that they speak of. Maybe that's what makes it so sweet is the finest oak. It's very easy sipping. There's just not a lot to it, unfortunately. What's up, Wispy Woods? Thanks, man. How it compare to all the bottles upstairs? Yeah. I'm going to grab everything. Yeah, a few sips in, this turns into like 1792 sweet wheat. There's just nothing to it. Not enough to it to hold my attention for sure. Go back to the cured oak here. The cured oak is fine. It's good. It just comes off to me like a spicier version of Colonel Taylor Bottle and Bond. It may give the Bottle and Bond, like if you were to give regular E.H. Taylor a B, this is kind of a B plus. If you give Bottle and Bond regular E.H. Taylor small batch a C, this is probably a C plus. It just has an extra bump of spiciness to it that I actually like. I think that's always something that's been missing from Colonel Taylor, to give that little bit of a pepperiness to balance out the sweet. I think the cured oak actually does that. However, I don't think it's anything special by any means. It's just a spicier E.H. Taylor, like to me, and that's really it. There's nothing uber special about it. Yeah, it definitely comes off a little bit like Buffalo Trace tater bait, bourbon jerk for sure. Sample. If it's like if E.H. Taylor got what? What does that say? It's like if E.H. Taylor got a little angry. Yeah, JG, I could see that. Yeah, it's a little salty today. At Heaven Hill, they have Five Brothers as a distillery only. Yeah, Tony, that's true. But that Five Brothers stuff, most of the stuff that that Heaven Hill has in their distillery to buy is better than that Five Brothers stuff. So William Wiley, so that's a good question. I don't think it's like E.H. Taylor Single Barrel. E.H. Taylor Single Barrels, to me, are a little bit more concentrated flavors that you love from regular E.H. Taylor. Remember, because they're still 100 proof. So I think those lean into more of the caramels, the sweet flavors. While some of that is there, I think as it opens up, it is getting sweeter, but it just carries this spice note that I think is making it a little bit different. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, rest in peace, or what the hell are they doing? Trig 65, I think that Heaven Hill went all in on these ultra high aged releases this year, and that's what we're seeing. You could probably make an argument that some of the, think about it, some of the Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs probably went into some of these. Same mash bill. It's, what'd they say this was? 7, 8 years old? Could be EH2. When you think about it, it kind of makes sense. But plus you have 15-year, 21-year. I'm not saying that, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof barrels are going into those because they're generally a little younger. But I think that Heaven Hill is concentrated on not only the Barrel Proof Rye, but just so many different releases. The Deatsville release that they put out, even though that was a little bit limited. The 21-year, the 15-year. They have so many releases this year. And I just think that took priority over bringing out, I keep saying E.H. Taylor, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. And I also think maybe this was something from the inside. Now, this is just a conspiracy theory. I'm not saying this is true. But I think in some regards, maybe Heaven Hill thought, look, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof isn't doing what we were hoping to do. It's sitting on shelves now. Maybe we pull it back a little bit. Maybe we hold it back. We concentrate on the ride, some of these other releases, and then we bring it back next year, and people are a little bit more excited for it because we completely skipped a year. So I'm wondering if that's going to be, maybe that was the mindset. I could see them doing that because, to be honest, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, it doesn't move the needle like it used to anymore. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. Have you had the Heaven Hill 22 yet? Oh yeah, I did a full review when it came out. I got a media sample from Heaven Hill. It was good. I'm convinced the HO small batch used to be older whiskey too. I had a new one not too long ago and wasn't impressed. Yeah, same thing. I would say this might be a little controversial, but I also think that Colonel Taylor Barrel Proof has kind of gone downhill a lot as well. It tastes younger now. It really does. I remember the first Colonel Taylor Barrel Proof I had back in like 2016, 2017, whatever it was. It tasted like freaking apple and cinnamon, like apple pie with like cinnamon on it and cherry. It was freaking delicious. And it had some nice oak flavor to it. It was balanced. Nothing since then has come close to what I've tasted, especially the recent batches. They come off younger. They drink hot. And while some people like that, I'm missing the, it's kind of like what happened with George T. Stagg last year, where they kind of traded off like a high proof for like flavor. And to me, there have been some good batches in between, but I just don't feel. I feel like Colonel Taylor Barrel Proof has kind of hit a little bit of a skid as well. Top Jimmy the Legend with 20 Mash and Drum memberships. Guys, if you have received a Mash and Drum membership from Top Jimmy, give him a big thank you. Thanks for being here, man. ECBP Rye in 2026 over ECB Bourbon in 2025. Yeah, that's what it looks like right now for sure. I think EHC Barrel Proof tastes younger, but 125 last year was a banger, says El Royo. I think I actually tried that one, El Royo. I might have enjoyed that one. I think it did bring some big flavor. I think you're correct about that one. Jason, Breaking Bourbon shows both ECBP and Larson BP both A126 in their release calendar for September. Oh, that's interesting. But why would it? So can that... That could be just bumping up the release like later in the month because they're not sure when it's going to come out. It wouldn't make sense like in September to bring out an A126. I don't know why they would do that. Why wouldn't they bring out a 926? I'm sorry, C926 if that's going to be, if they're going to release something this September, it should be C926 or actually A926 because we haven't got anything yet. That would be a weird combination of letters, right? From Elijah Craig. A926. There's never been an A926. But that could be some of that shit that Heaven Hill pulls. We've never released an A926. It's the first one ever. People will go ape shit. Now, if it does have a high H statement on it, think of the frenzy that could cause. They bring out an A926 for the first time ever, and at the same time bring it out with a 12, 13 year plus H statement. People will lose their shit. That won't sit on a shelf. Reese Mash, did Silver Springs not make the cut for the Rye Challenge in-seed in the mix? No, I don't think I put it in there because I only had barrel picks. I don't think I put it in there. Yep, Top Jimmy's the man. We're just going to complain about the laser codes. First Rye was 925. Yep. I feel like legacy distillers are trying to keep up with the craft distillers that are releasing amazing whiskeys. Keith Fox, that is a very, very true statement. I think I like the Eagle Rare 12 better. Eagle Rare 12 just has more going on. Honestly. Cured oak is good, but yeah. I think JG put it perfectly. It tastes like a little bit of an angrier E.H. Taylor. I'll do a full review on that pretty soon, guys. My apologies for the lack of content this week. This is my very, very busy time of year with work, and I've just been slammed. I haven't really been working late. Haven't been able to do some content, but glad I could jump on a live with you guys. Hopefully I will be able to film some stuff. Should be live next week. The week after, I will be off because I will be at a work event in Florida. So I will be gone that entire week. But yeah, we'll go from there. Just to give you guys updated on the schedule. Still haven't seen or heard of an ER12 in my market. Yeah, isn't that interesting? Let me blend this. Let me see what happens if I blend that a little bit. Interesting, because you guys remember the all the pomp and circumstance over Eagle Rare 12 when it came out. Going to be widely available on the shelf. Eagle Rare 12 everywhere. You get an Eagle Rare. You get an Eagle Rare. We're going to Oprah this shit. Nope. It's not everywhere. It's not everywhere, Buffalo Trace. You failed Oprah. Just saying. Alex Strout, Brook Lottie is among my favorite distilleries, and it puts so many allocated bourbon to shame, says Alex Strout. Brook Lottie has always been one of my favorite Scotch distilleries. Them and Bunnahabhain, if you've watched me. Those are my two favorites, easily. Stacks of ER12 at my local Radio Shack, says Nathan Jurgensen. I saw an Eagle Rare 12 sitting in duty-free for but I couldn't buy it. Colorado doesn't even have it yet, and they have every SAS product. Haven't seen ER12 in Georgia. Yeah, where is the ER12? Cedar Ridge Moonlight Graham pour tasty Iowa pick. Oh, there you go, Mark Eminecker. Saw Eagle Rare 12 today for $199, $350 in Venice, Florida. So Clint Nolan, last time I was in Florida, I saw a bunch of Eagle Rare 12 at a couple stores, all for $250, $250. Like you guys, I'm like, you guys realize this is like a $40, $45, $50 bottle, right? And they're like, oh yeah, but we can't. I mean, we have to sell a lot of vodka to get the Eagle Rare 12. We have to sell a lot of Fireball. So when we get it in, we got to make all the money. Oh, bullshit. Bullshit. You're just trying to make your money off of it. Just the excuses are so... I hear different excuses every time I question a pricing from liquor stores. It's crazy. Oh, yeah, we don't get much of it. So when we get it, we have to price it kind of high. Shut up. Come on. Stop using Buffalo Trace as a crutch to, you know, completely price gouge. I'm not going to do that again, Big Ed. That was for you, buddy. It is the Wild West in Florida. What do you think is the best way for stores to get rid of the allocated bourbon? To get rid of allocated bourbon? Yeah, I just love just straight good store lotteries. I mean, why not? I do like some stores that do things where it's where they'll actually do stuff for customers. I've never really been a part of a point system. Anybody in the chat, have you guys been part of a store that does system by points? How do you feel about it? Do you like the point system? Does it give you a chance to buy some allocated bottles, you know, down the line, or is it just too many points to get anything allocated? You guys in the chat, let me know. In the meantime, I'm going to pour a little Brooklotti before we get into our blind tasting here. You going to try and get the Anthology Four Roses? Triggs, I would like to, but there's no way I can get to. It's just a really bad time of year. If it was a slower time of year for work for me, I would be driving down there to try to get one, but I can't do it. Hey, thanks, Matt Carter. Appreciate you, man. If Kermit owned a liquor store, Jason, please use those voices with new characters during the Advent episodes. No point systems from what I've seen here. Rural in Indianapolis, says Keith Fox. Okay. We are in Central Florida near Orlando, and we buy 210 store picks. That's hard to compete. Jason, what's the story behind that bottle? I'll tell you guys everything here. We are in Central Florida near Orlando. We have a store that does the point system. My wife is killing it there. Well, it's kind of cool. I seem to hear I've been burned on points. I don't like them, says Matt Carter. I'm part of the Liquor Barn reward program. They have taken great care of me, says Top Jimmy. I've heard great things about the way Liquor Barn does it for sure. Points got me a chance to buy EH single barrel. Okay. Yeah, I support my local store. There's a good and fair lottery system that occasionally rewards me with a rare bottle. And listen, nothing is ever going to beat just a great relationship with a good store. Nothing is ever going to beat that. Holy crap, it's Will Hendo Henderson. What's going on, man? Nice to see you, buddy. There you go. I like the grocery store method here. All on the counter for retailers. Get raffle for free. Extra ticks for buying picks, draw picks, what's left. Yeah, you know, Ohio is state-run liquor agency, so they'll do drops on Saturdays. You get in line. If you're in line, you get first crack at it. And, you know, if you have to wait in line overnight to get a bottle that you really want, you know, I'm still wondering here in Ohio if it's going to be a lottery drop for the whatchamacallit, for the Wild Turkey archives. If that does become a lottery drop, then it's going to be one of those online lotteries that you get a chance to do. The online lotteries, I'll say I'm not a big fan of because, you know, a lot of people will get their entire family to sign up, and I get that part of it, but normally, you know, I don't know. I feel like you're having like 15 million people, whether you work with or your family, sign up to try to get a better chance to get a bottle, and I get that part, but I don't know. That to me seems a little bit... I feel like if you really want the bottle, get your ass up, go to the store, get a ticket, get a lottery ticket if you can, and if you get lucky, then go get it. I understand the lottery portion of it. You could do it from the comfort of your own home. there's definitely uh, a convenience factor in that. They aren't plentiful. Get your blinders off, says Triggs. They aren't plentiful. They did separate color ticket drawings for GTS. Handy. This is controversial, but I'm okay with the lotteries. I'm part of your point system that determines your. Oh, let me see here. Diego says, I'm part of a point system that determines your end of year draft position. Over the years, I've gotten an Old Fitz 17 and 2 Parker's Heritage and a Michter's 10-year bourbon. Yeah, that is something that I've heard, which I think is kind of cool. The more points you get, the better off you do. The better like a position you get at the end of the year when they do like the big end of the year drops. Those are pretty cool. I prefer a raffle because I can never get outspend logos with a point system in Georgia and Tennessee. I still haven't won. I get my brother-in-law one of Blanton's gold. I was recently. I'm old, not quite as old as Jason, but I'm not waiting in any lines. 99% of the time they're ruined by people trekking friends when, where, and how much. Yeah, look, a lot of the surprise drops are luck of the draw anyway. If you're close by, there's guys that are constantly watching those drops, flippers and stuff like that. So that's a little bit tough. You know what I do love when stores do? When stores will hide allocated bottles on the shelf behind other things to see if like someone finds it and then they can have their chance to buy that bottle. I think that's such a cool thing that some liquor stores do here and there. It's just kind of a, like they'll take a bottle of Blanton's and put it on the shelf, but they'll like put it behind some bottles of vodka or something like that. If you happen to come across it, that's yours, to win or to buy at retail, of course. I think that's always a cool idea. But allocated drops are tricky, especially for stores. We don't look at it from the store perspective. We look at it from the consumer perspective. And stores have to deal with a lot of bullshit when it comes with whiskey geeks wanting to get the most allocated bottles that they have. So I think the fairest, whatever works for the liquor stores, I think is what works best for them. But I do appreciate a good raffle. First come first serves here in Ohio are completely leaked. Someone leaks it from OHLQ online, so it's never really a surprise. There's lines at the stores before anybody gets a chance to even hear about it. It gets leaked by somebody, I'm guessing at OHLQ, that leaks all the information, and then it just gets blasted out. So it's never really a surprise, unfortunately. Went back next week and got a leftover cock of the walk just by asking. I just picked up. Yeah, but I will say nothing will ever beat just having a good relationship with a store owner. If you're not in a controlled state, most controlled states can't do this, but if you're not in a controlled state and you have a good relationship with a store owner that knows that you're loyal, may crack a bottle open with that person, that him or her that owns the store that wants to maybe try something, there's nothing better than walking in and the store owner be like, hey, I got something in for you might be interested in. Check this out. And you're like, holy shit, that is a bottle of, whatever. There's nothing that beats that. But that's not the reality in a lot of cases anymore. So, yeah, the relationship is everything. Oh, that smells fantastic. All right, guys, what the hell is this yellow bottle? So the story of, this is called The Yellow Submarine by Bruichladdich. This started 20 years ago, this whole story, when Isla fishermen John Baker and Harold Hasty spotted a remote-controlled submarine. A remote-controlled submarine off the coast of the distillery shores. The submarine was brought back to Bruichladdich and stored for safekeeping until the Ministry of Defense came to collect their lost property. Marking the submarine's safe return, the distillery team gifted a bottle of the aptly named Yellow Submarine to the men who retrieved it. So I pulled a picture of this. There it is. These are the guys that retrieved it. That's the Yellow Submarine, guys. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to read about it. So this is reclassified. It's the latest iteration of this is a kind of a cult classic whiskey from Bruichladdich fans. So this is kind of a reimagining of the original release. It was once again, this is 14 years old, and it's matured in a mix of first fill bourbon barrels and Bordeaux red wine casks. So that's what's in this one. As far as, let me see. So there have been, I think 4 releases of this. Let me double check. There was one in 2004. This is where it kind of started. It was 19 years old, that one. And that was Bourbon, Oloroso, and Fino sherry casks. Then there was the 2005 WMD WMDII, the Yellow Submarine, 14 years, Bourbon and Rioja red wine barrels. Then there was the 2018 one, which everyone went bananas for because that one was 25 years old. That was a 25-year-old whiskey, 46% ABV, Bourbon and Rioja red wine. Again, I think they just kept that same whiskey cooking in the release before. And now this is kind of a callback to the second release, which is 14 years, higher proof point here at 54.2%, which is a good proof point for a single malt. Bourbon and Bordeaux red wine cask. So there you go. It's kind of the history behind it. Check out the yellow amazingness of the Bruichladdich. There it is, the Yellow Submarine. Nice big red H statement here, 14 years. So let's get into this thing. I did the Ardbeg release. I did the Ardbeg review, the 10-year cask strength, and basically we want something in the Yellow Submarine. Yeah, sing the song. There you go. And then I actually kind of took that and was like looking at the comments. And then people were writing, "You have to review the new Bruichladdich, I'm like, they re-released the Yellow Submarine. I had no idea. So here it is. This is not peated, or if it is, actually, yeah, I think this is unpeated. So if anybody is scared of smoke, it's not peated. Man, this is so fruit forward. You get the bourbon influence immediately. This is so creme brulee on the nose, creme brulee caramel toffee right away. But that Bordeaux wine cask is giving like fig cherry vibes. I don't know if it's because it's a yellow bottle, but I feel like I'm getting like lemon zest, lemon curd. And then it just has that that malty DNA that Bruichladdich is kind of known for. Bruichladdich. Yeah, I'm digging the nose on this. Oh, wow. This is so fruit forward, but different. You have citrus, you have apple, pear, a little bit of like dark red fruit, a little bit of borderline raisin in there too. But the orange, pear, apple peel combination is what really stands out here. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like Green River, like when you get like the peachy Green River. Sometimes you get like that Green River apple and peach combination. That's what this reminded me of a little bit. Oh, man. That's what I get all day long. Now, you know, because Bruichladdich is a coastal distillery, they say sometimes you get like sea salt in there, or you get almost like a brininess from that sea salt. I'm not sure if I'm getting anything briny, but there's definitely a salty vibe to this for sure, which I think makes sense from the whole Yellow Submarine thing. This is apple, pear, orange, and dark fruit drizzled in bourbon flavors. Caramel, vanilla, all day long. There's a nice little spice to it. It's got really great viscosity, which I think I failed to mention. That's it. It just coats your palate. This is delicious. This is one of those hard to get yet kind of crushable bottles, unfortunately, where you get your hands on it and you just want to keep drinking it because it's just so delicious. You want to keep going back for more. But I think the viscosity helps with that. It's kind of thick. It's rich. It's really nice. We'll do a full review on that too. Proof on is 54.2. 54.2 ABV. So 108.4. Thank you, concert fan. Appreciate that. PC 18 Rule, says Vinol. There you go. I hear the new Dark Arts Blunt Blend number 3 is really good. Yeah, I'm hoping to get a sample of that. So the price on this retail, I believe, was, now it's sold out now, but I think it was, I want to say, it was $134.99. And it is a 700 milliliter bottle, $134.99, which is actually a nice price point for a 14-year single malt. It's really not bad. If it was a 14-year bourbon, it'd probably be $250 to $300 if you think about it, right? Bruichladdich and Bunnahabhain, man. Those are my faves. Something about the bees. All right, guys. We have a blind tasting here that I'm going to get into, supplied by my friend in the chat, Big Vic. I have no idea what he sent me, so this is going to be a little bit scary. Big Vic says it's $200 here. That's what I pay for it. I pay $200 for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 samples from the Vickers. Yeah, if you guys are a fan of single malts, that is going to be one you're going to want to look out for. Again, I'm not sure how widely available it is, but I mean, if you like apples, pears, citrus, dark fruit, all of that with that maltiness, you're gonna enjoy that one. All right, A, B. So Vic, in the chat, let me know, what are the rules for this? What do you want me to do? Do you want me to try to guess what they are? Guess age? What are your parameters here? Just gonna pour all this. Oh, I bet he did sneak a rare character in here for sure. How do you go back to bourbon after the Bruichladdich? Because the Bruichladdich it's mainly aged in ex-bourbon casks, so there's similarities there. Now, if this was peated, I would not have drank this first. If this was peated, if that smokiness was in there, I would not have gone after that. Bruichladdich and Bunnahabhain, you just picked the 2 best scotches. Be careful, lest I start to actually like you. Damn, Alex. Alex, just like Bruichladdich, is salty. Yeah, I'm also a big fan of from a Scotch perspective. I do love some Ardbeg, not all Ardbeg. I like Longmorn quite a bit. There's like a peachiness in that malt that I think is interesting. Kalila, I kind of find Kalila has a very unique malt profile that I find really good, and obviously Springbank. I love Springbank too. So those are kind of like my tops. Yes, they're Isla. Yeah, I like Old Pulteney, Glen. Old Pulteney kind of helped me get into some of the coastal whiskeys with the saltiness, which I like. Yeah, Longmorn is good fun for sure. 5 different butterflies. Most Ardbeg isn't worth chasing. This year's 10 Cask is definitely worth grabbing. Alex Trout, I could not agree with you more. See, Alex, we're building a relationship here. I could not agree with you more. Rules for Vic's Blind. Corrugated fiberboard. Lefroy Cartus. Dude, some of those. The sherry Cartus that they released a few years ago was so damn good. I haven't had enough Aaron to form an opinion, Isaac. Lance, I should say. All right. I'm sorry if I missed it, Vic. Did he post what I need to do here with this tonight? Jason, did you try the Bruichladdich sherry cask finish? Yes. Love it. Don't fall off your chairs. Rule 1. I don't know. Did he write anything? I love. Is Augusta 13-year drop in Ohio next week worth $229? I don't know, dude. Some of those Augustas can be so good, but it's a roll of the dice, man. I think it's just going to depend. What's Augusta rolling out now with their 13-year? Is it Beam or is it Barton? Because if it's Barton, there's a lot of Barton out there for cheaper. If it's Beam is a little bit less out there in the market from an NDP standpoint, so that might be more interesting. But if it is Barton for $229, I don't know if I would roll the dice on that. I really wouldn't. Let us know which secret sample gives you the jazz hands vibe, says Matt Robinson. I'll do that. I'll do that. Appreciate it. Still Barton. The Mash and Drum per Big Vic. Guess age, distillery, proof type, says John Farron. Okay, there we go. Guess age, distillery, proof type. Okay. Let's see if I suck after some Bruichladdich here. I thought I had Dove a una pena. Shit, where's my pen? Oh, there's my pen. Hey, the Mets won a game. Look at that. The Mets won tonight. That's nice. They're so terrible. Do you know anyone rolling out any 12 plus beam right now? Says Bourbon and Burns. So there is some beam out there, but it's a different mash bill that's being put out there. So let me just write this down real quick. You have age, distillery, proof, and type. Okay. Thank you so much. Just tuned in. Glad to see Jason with the newest hotness in Scotch. How is the yellow sub? Says Kyle Taylor. Dude, I'm digging it. It's way more fruit forward than I thought it was going to be, and I think that's a good thing for Bruichladdich. I think it complements the maltiness really well. As I was tasting pear, apple pear, kind of like a combination of like Granny Smith and just like really good like red Gala apple. Then I think on the back end I was getting a little bit more spiciness, got great viscosity. And then you start getting some of the dark fruit flavors from that Bordeaux wine cask, which I think works well. It doesn't really give me any drying, anything drying from the red wine cask, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, there's 19-year beam that's out there. The ones that I know that are putting out some old age beam are Elkwood from Bluegrass Distillers. I believe there are some other NDPs putting out some of that old beam stuff, but generally the beam that's hitting the market now is in that 11, 12-year range. There's still a ton of Barton out there, but if Augusta is still charging like $230, $240 for 13-year Barton, I know it's not cask strength, but you could just buy a Calumet with a high age statement at 15, 16, 18 or whatever. I'm sorry, not anything beyond the 16. The 14, 15, and 16 you could still find in places for like $120. So you're getting more of an age statement. You're not getting cask strength. I think why people really get kind of, I guess, really interested, what drives the interest with the Augustas are the proofs. Augusta will drop a hazmat Barton like that. So if it's a high proof, I think that's where the interest really gets driven. So speaking of wine, Jason, did you show that Gambit number 6 bottle a few weeks ago? 6 wine finish. I did not. I did not show that, or I did not see that, I should say. Cal 16 is still 160. Oh, it is, Mark. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Let's try these, guys. Let's see how we do here tonight. Guys, again, thanks for hanging out tonight. It's my birthday eve, turning 49. It's my last year in my 40s. It's a little scary. All right, let's get into this. First one smells really good. I feel like there could be a finish on it. Smells proofy as hell, too. The Mets are almost as bad as the Diamondbacks. I think the Mets are the worst team in the league. The Diamondbacks are probably better. Jason, I can't believe you've joined me in the 50s. And I'm not there yet, Phil C. I got one more year, dude. Not there yet. Big 5-0 next year. Got to start planning the bash now. Yeah, it's going to be whatever happens for my 50th. That's going to be a freaking rager. Just poured a Parker's Heritage double barrel for you. There you go. KC is at least one game behind the Mets after losing tonight. You've been thinking about it. You know it. I know. The 50 was nothing. 30 hit me hard, says Stephen Walt. Yeah. All right, let's give this one a try. I like the nose on this. It's very dark. It's has a lot of oak. Has some what's that note? There's like a chocolatey maltiness to it, which I'm kind of picking up. Shit, that's good. That is dark, dense, delicious. That is bourbon candy in a glass. Mets just beat my Royals. We both drink. Yeah. If you're a Mets fan these days, you have to drink to get through any of those games. Any special ideas for turning 50 and a special drum key release, says Jason K. I don't know. From the drum key standpoint, the next release is next month. That's going to be Power Ballad. Then I have the French Oak projects I'm working on, which I'm really excited about. The bourbon is definitely not there yet. The rye, I think, is going to be done before the bourbon. So we might see the French Oak rye before the bourbon. And then I'm hoping to blend a high age release towards the end of the year. Probably using stuff like 12, 13 year plus only in the blend. I'm really hoping to bring that to the table. Then as far as next year plans, I don't really know yet. There could be a 50 release. We'll see. It's a good idea, Jason. I'm trying to think what the hell this is. It's really rich, very dark. From a profile standpoint, I feel like it's NGP. Age on this one. This one's kind of sneaky. Well, let me taste through them and then I'll make my guesses here. And then after we get through this, guys, you can run me around the freaking room and have me compare whatever the hell you want me to compare. My next is 64, so retirement is the reward. There you go. Good old retirement. Number, or I should say letter B. The nose here is a little bit muted. It's definitely, I'm getting more alcohol in this glass versus number one was all flavor. Or I'm sorry, he lettered these. I'm sorry. Letter A had way more flavor coming out of the nose. Sample B is a little bit muted coming off the nose there. Letter B tastes beamy, like a little Jim Beamish. Getting nuttiness, some peanut butter. Beach Sand Bourbon, Master Drum, Cheer Jason. I found my cured oak a couple weeks ago. Looking forward to cracking it with some friends. Upcoming video on my channel. There you go, Beach Sand Bourbon. I'd be happy to ream you, but you kind of already know Brook Lottie's king. Yeah, guys, while you're hanging out, hit that like button. Appreciate you guys being here. Oh, maybe it's not Beam. That has a weird finish on it. It's not cardboard, but it's there's no cardboard. But I think it's more like a what is that? What is that? It's sweet. But there's almost like this sour, like there's a little bit like a Sour Patch Kid note on the back end of that one. Really interesting. Okay. Let's go to number 3, or letter C, I should say. Ooh, went in there too hot. It's all downhill after you hit your 50s. This is tunes. I mean, I can imagine, man, but I feel like this is a rye on letter C. I feel like I'm getting clove, some baking spice in here. I got to try it, though. You have same birthday as Tom Hanks, Jack White, and Courtney Love. I think I've read that before. Pretty cool. I don't know what the hell that is. That's very bright. That is a very bright whiskey. And when I say bright, I mean the flavors like get to a point where it's like coming off the first two. This is like cloyingly sweet, like sweet tarts, fun dip, powdered sugar, that type of. All the Pete talk, I had to go with Lefroy 10 cast strength. Jason Downhill, but not with the chicks. There's some funky oak on the third one. So I'm not sure if that's because it's a wheated bourbon or if there's something funky on C. Maybe something older. It's hard. When I get that note, it's either a weird finish or it's a funky. When I say finish, I mean like a toasted or double oaked. I get like that weird finish on it, especially when I'm getting like that aspartame sweetness. All right. The D. Oh, the D smells fantastic. Yes, I just said that out loud. Jason doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon. Yeah, I'm not slowing down anytime soon. I'm still working, 3 jobs and doing what I can, guys. Making it happen. Beach Sand Bourbon. How do we purchase bottles of Drum Key Spirits? I'd like to do a review on my channel. It's through Barrel King Beach Sand Bourbon. I am not crazy about Sample D on the palate. Nope. Sample D tastes young, grainy, and yeah, do not like that. Don't like D. Whatever D is, actually, this is probably the first time ever I do not like Sample D. What's absolutely happening, Jason? I don't. Oh yeah, there you go, guys. If you want to grab the ride symbol, yep, you can get it there. I don't know if it's cardboardy, Jason. There's just a youthful graininess to it, but not the cardboard note. Hey, what's up, Jonathan Faulkner? Enjoy the blinds and bourbons. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. All right, last one. Again, this one's a little bit more muted. If Simmel doesn't work, try Power Bottom. Nathan, you're a dick. Yeah, V0 too. I don't know why, but it seems like whenever blinds are sent, D tends to be everyone's favorite, and it's just kind of a running joke in Whiskey Tube. Get the rye symbol before it becomes a collector's item. Don't sleep on Drum Key Rye, Bourbon Drinkers Rye. Love that bottle. Velveeta wishes you a super happy birthday. Oh, thanks, Brad. Thanks. Tell her I said thanks, one. Appreciate that. Keith Stefanski. Keith Stefanski. Every time I see your name, I want to call you Kevin Stefanski, but I know that's not right. But I just like read it fast, and with my terrible eyes, I see Kevin Stefanski. It's kind of funny. I'm like, oh my god, the coach for the Falcons is in the chat. So this is also giving me kind of, again, like double oak toasty vibes. Let's give this one a try. Oh, that one's interesting. It's got some interesting flavors to it. I think that has a finish. Maybe like a rum or there's something very sweet in there. Blue Run Blind? Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure if I like the last one. Maybe there's like a wine finish on it, so there's something a little bit bitter about it. Jason, do people know how much you crush it on your advent calendar blinds? You are the man, says Hattie Bell. I mean, I guess maybe some people do, but yeah, I love doing those advent blinds. They're so much fun. You know what? And the most fun I have on those blinds are the ones that I get completely wrong, because I just love opening the note and just being completely floored about what I'm drinking and not having a clue. It's really fun. So, all right. I don't think I'm a fan of this one either. I mean, it's good. It's okay. I think it's definitely finished. There is something on the back end of that one that's very unique. It's not Amburana, thank God. I will say, Big Vic did not send me any Amburana. At least I don't think he did. I think this is a huge citrus bomb. Any news? What's been on the TTB or bourbon meme of the week tonight? Yeah, we can do that real quick while I'm kind of negotiating this. Give my pal a little bit of a rest. Thank you for reminding me. There's been a little bit of what do you call it here? Is it? Let me see if I have this still. Do I still have the little dude there that does that thing? No, I don't have that. I don't think anymore, unfortunately. No, I have to get that I have to get that soundbite back. But Uncle Nearest back into the news in the saga. Uncle Nearest whiskey receiver turns tables on the $100 million lender, alleges it ignored obvious fraud red flags. So now the receiver is saying that the company that lent Uncle Nearest all that money, you didn't do your job. You suck. The long unwinding legal drama surrounding Uncle Nearest just got a little more complicated. On Tuesday, the company's court-ordered receiver accused Farm Credit Mid-America, the lender suing Uncle Nearest for over $100 million in defaulted loans, of ignoring financial red flags and dishing out nearly $67 million without proper approval. So now Farm Credit, who started this whole thing, is now getting thrown under the bus for giving Uncle Nearest money when obviously you shouldn't have. Up until now, the court has largely focused on allegations against Uncle Nearest and its co-founders Keith and Fawn Weaver. The company's total debt is estimated at roughly $208 million, approximately $121 million of which is owed to Farm Credit Mid-America. Farm Credit filed a lawsuit against the Weavers in August 2025, and their company was shortly thereafter placed under the control of court-ordered manager Philip G. Young Jr. So in the filing, he flipped the tables on Farm Credit America, claiming that the lender repeatedly turned a blind eye to fraud for its own financial gain. And the plot thickens. This is crazy. There's definitely going to be some sort of fucking Netflix special or something about this. Someone's going to make a movie on this, or at least we're going to get a documentary, guys. Young's allegations center around former Uncle Nearest CFO Michael Sinzaki, who left the company in 2024 after he was accused of inflating inventory numbers and falsifying financials. We know that. Between July 22nd and August 23rd, Young claims that Sinzaki acted as the sole signee on 28 financial requests to Farm Credit America, totaling nearly $67 million. Each request was approved, despite the lack of confirmation or apparent knowledge from Fawn Weaver that the company's principal decision maker gave the approval. He later admitted to investigators that he used misappropriated funds to purchase a Las Vegas home, buy vehicles, and gamble. The Weavers filed a lawsuit against Sinzaki in January, and the revelation surfaced, and the new filing appeared to add credibility to their case. A credit facility exceeding $100 million demands heightened diligence, yet Farm Credit extended tens of millions of dollars without obtaining basic financial verification that is standard practice in commercial lending. It should be noted that Young acts on behalf of the Uncle Nearest company, not on behalf of Fawn Weaver or Keith Weaver. The Weavers are currently engaged in a separate lawsuit against Farm Credit America, accusing the lender of leading a smear campaign that pushed allegations of missing inventory, financial misconduct, negative cash flow, and insolvency. Dude, this is getting so nuts. Now they're going after Farm Credit America, saying that they were dumbasses and they should have never gave Uncle Nearest the money in the first place. This is the best bourbon soap opera we've had in a very long time. This is just intentionally stalling at this point. I'm waiting for empty bottles of Uncle Nearest. I'll wait for the audio drama. Happy birthday, Jay. Thanks, B-Boyd. For an earlier question, Augusta 13 is currently Barton. Yes, it is. Yeah, I think but they do have some Beam. I was just wondering what they were using. It's nice to know that I have more money than Uncle Nearest, says Whiskey Nose. I mean, shit. Now Farm Credit's getting thrown under the bus, the ones that already initially came after Uncle Nearest. It's like, yeah, you're suing Uncle Nearest, but you're also were dumbasses to give them more money. So now it's going to be the thought process is Did Farm Credit America know how bad their financials were? So we're going to give them money because we know they can't recoup that money, and then we can go back after them and get the money plus more money back. Dude, I don't even know how to freaking to like process all that. It's your fault we frauded you. You were dumb enough to trust us. Yeah, basically. That's basically what it says. Yeah, as the barrel turns. Thank you, Kevin Stefanski. Appreciate that. That's what I'm just calling you from now on. But that is kind of crazy to think that Uncle Nearest, after this whole thing was started by Farm Credit America, now the receivership is telling Farm Credit America that you didn't do your due diligence, almost like you deserved what you got, basically. So where does it go from here? I have no idea. It's and also just to kind of on top of all this, remember a couple months ago there was a mystery buyer. There was a buyer for Uncle Nearest. We never found out. It was an unnamed buyer. We never knew who it was. We never knew who that buyer was. We haven't heard anything on top of that since then. We still had the whole thing with Jay-Z and Beyonce. They were trying to get like a secret loan from a Jay-Z owned financial organization to try to help with some of the money for Uncle Nearest. I mean, this saga has everything. It has drama, has Jay-Z and Beyonce. It's got fraud. It's got houses in France and Martha's Vineyard. It's got people suing each other left and right. This shit has everything. If Netflix doesn't make a movie about it, I'm gonna do like my own. What do they call them when you watch a crime show and they show it was a reenactment. I'm gonna do my own version of a reenactment. Farm Credit, hold a second. Let's see here. Farm Credit has to do something illegal. You don't lend that much money out with checks and balances. This is crazy in lending circles. Think of a mortgage. What happens if you don't pay? Exactly. If you already didn't have enough money to pay the initial loan, why would you just keep giving them loans? It's an interesting like thought process. Okay, what else do we have here, guys? As far as news goes, not much news. This is interesting. I don't know if anybody saw this. Some of you might be interested in this. Just saying. But this image is going to look weird, but this is real. Buffalo Trace has unveiled an adults-only summer camp for lucky bourbon fans. That's right. An adults-only summer camp. The spirit of summer is alive and well in Frankfurt, where the critically acclaimed Buffalo Trace is setting up a summer camp poured to the brim with bourbon tastings, daily contests, and glamping galore. On Tuesday, the whiskey hotspot unveiled Camp Buffalo Trace, an adult-only experience set to take place from August 29th through September 5th. In lieu of capture the flag and friendship bracelet circles, attendees will have the chance to participate in the in themed activities, all of which unsurprisingly revolve around Buffalo Trace bourbon. Campers can partake in woodcraft workshop using wood and muddler to reclaim bourbon barrel staves, compete against one another to drive bungs, cork-like stoppers into whiskey casks. There will also be, I don't like how they worded that, compete against one another to drive bungs. Yeah, that should be rewritten immediately. There will also be a blind tasting of Buffalo Trace trivia team session alongside single barrel challenge, in which guests will have to identify bourbons across 3 different ages. It wouldn't be summer camp without a campsite. The team has erected a miniature village of air-conditioned canvas vents in which guests will find plush robes, slippers, and stocked mini fridges loaded with Freddie's old-fashioned sodas, a nod to the famed Buffalo Trace tour guide, Freddie Johnson. So the sweepstakes, so if you want to do this, there's a sweepstakes to enter from July 14th through July 21st. The form is technically open for the time being, but won't be accepting entries until the official start date. Buffalo Trace will randomly select 90 day camp winners for each of the 8-day events, alongside 10 winners per day who will partake in the overnight experience. So there you go, guys. If you guys want to camp with Buffalo Trace, here's your chance. What are the comments saying? Here we go. Bunghole pounding all around. Sounds so lame. All pineapples must be upside down. Uncle Buck. Shit. Holy shit. A 49 super chat. Happy birthday, Jason. Movie coming for Uncle Nearest or Mash and Drum. Thank you so much. Yes, for sure. I appreciate that. Very generous of you. Thank you so much. So many suggested words in that headline. Yes, between bungs and erected, they spared no expense on that one. Yes, we will have erected bunghole tents at the Bardstown Blitz this year. That's a black eye for the bourbon industry, sad. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. But you know what? People are going to fill the inbox for this. They will, because it's Buffalo Trace. People are going to do this shit. And I hope they post photos of this thing on social media. I want to see how it goes down. It's going to be freaking wild. Okay, as far as any other news, I don't think... Oh, yeah, we have something from 17. Speaking of Barton, if you guys missed it, 1792... has dropped, goes big with their first rye whiskey and a 15-year-old bourbon. So on Tuesday, Barton 1792 announced the addition of two firsts to its lineup: 1792 Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey, the brand's debut rye, and 1792 XV, a 15-year-old bourbon that's both the oldest release in the 1792 portfolio and the first bottle at cask strength. So the rye is going to be $40, distilled from rye grain, sourced from Canada, Europe and the northern United States, fermented with the distillery's signature bourbon yeast. So let's see here. Okay, so that's cool. Then we have the 1792 15-year coming in at 15 years old. Spent 15 years in new charred American white oak before being bottled uncut and unfiltered at 124.2 proof. It's the first release in 1792's history, bottled at cask strength. That's kind of impressive. Both releases are impressive in their own right. The rye is very solid for the price, has the potential to be awesome in the right cocktail. The 15 is going to be hard to find as an exclusive, but it's great stuff, truly decadent and delicious. That's kind of the quick write-up there for that. Also, on the TTB, I think we showed this last week, but I'll just kind of repeat this here. Jack Daniel's 12-year Tennessee Rye Whiskey is coming. I'm really excited to try this. Their rye is so good. 107 proof. I kind of wish it was a higher proof. If that is going to be the actual proof, I have a feeling it will be. But I do think this has a possibility of being something really, really good at 12 years old. We did see that the Old Grandad single barrels are coming out at 114, for groups, 8 years, 10 months. So it looks like there will be some store picks and group picks rolling out for the Old Grandad single barrel. And on the TTB, yeah, there it is, guys. My next drum key release, called Power Ballad. There it is, the purple and black with the gold emblem. I think it's going to look incredible. I cannot wait for you guys to get this in hand. I think you're really going to enjoy it. For those of you that do not know, it says right there, a blend of Kentucky and Indiana bourbon finished in rare ex-bourbon barrels. This is a blend of, if you guys haven't heard yet, it's a blend of some MGP and also some Kentucky bourbon that's been finished in a blend of Eagle Rare, Stag, and I always forget. I always can't remember the name of it. Weller 107 barrels with a little bit of a Willet barrel finished in there as well to kind of give this big, bold, like dark, rich red fruit type of characteristic to it. But really the topper of that whiskey is a 13-year MGP that was added in to just bring all the flavors together. It's 118 proof. It's going to be one of those whiskeys where you can just sit back, relax, and just enjoy the hell out of that whiskey. It's got a finish that just sits, lingers. It's spicy, but it's all fruit and sweet on the front. I think you guys are going to really love it, so I'm really excited for it. Yeah, the Acid Rock release. Yeah, it kind of looks like that. I like that. Cheers, lads. Hack and Mac. Oh, what's up, Hack and Mac? Okay, let me get back to this blind real quick. Let me go with some guesses here. One of the activities, standing in line for Blanton's. Who can get the longest without passing out? Oh, speaking of Blanton's, let's go to our Bourbon Meme of the Week. This one made me laugh. I came across this one. My expectations for Blanton's is a beautiful horse around a this is so random, a staircase with a beautiful horse. And then the Blanton's actual taste, it's like a regular horse just kind of duct taped around a regular banister. I saw this. This made me laugh so hard. I'm like, that is so true. That is so true. pure luxury versus something kind of meh. There you go. There's our bourbon meme of the week, guys. If you have seen that one, let me know. I absolutely love it. So that thing was funny. What 80s band best represents your power ballad, says Tim Romero. It's a great question, dude. Great question. I'm trying to think. I think I'm going to go with Can You Take Me High Enough? Because it's got kind of like a soft type of profile, but it's layered. But then all of a sudden on the finish, like the drums and the guitar kick in. Yeah, it's Can You Take Me High Enough? That's what I'm going with. White Snake is a good one for sure. Here I Go Again on my own. I did blend it, so on my own, so that's kind of cool. Jason, I think the JD 12 Rye proof is perfect. There's enough high proof out there with the single barrel selection as well as special releases. Yeah, Garrett Kowalski, I think you have a point there. I could probably get on board with that. Oh, Tesla, that's kind of a good one. Yeah. For me, it's Slayer, Hell Awaits. I don't know if it's quite to that powerful, but. All right. Number one, age. I'm going to go with 10 years on that. 10 years. I'm going to say it's MGP. Proof, I'm going to go one. I'm going to say one. I'm going to say an even 120 for that one. And I'm going to say it's bourbon. 2. Oh, 2 smells. 2 smells really nice. Two, I get more oak on. I think I'm going to go 12 years on that one, on 2. I think it's Heaven Hill. I said Beam earlier. I'm going to go with Heaven Hill. I'm going to say 121. Bourbon. 3. These last 3 are weird. He's going to stump me on these 3. All 3 of these are freaking weird. Shit, what is that? Drums and Drams. That new 1792 is friggin' lights out good, man, says Drum. Cam, you already got one? Dude, what the fuck? Cam, how the fuck do you get bottles so fast? You must have better Italian mob friends, better than I do. Holy shit. Yeah, I got to get my hands on that, dude. I feel like I know what that is, but I can't quite. Cam has pictures. Cam has blackmail on people? Is that how he's getting it? Some dude got it from travel retail in San Francisco, and I paid up too much, but it's all 1 liter, so it didn't sting as bad as it could have. Oh, got it. I see what you did there. Okay. Yeah, I'll get one eventually, for sure. I don't think it's a rye. Shit, what is that? Is that a single malt? I'm going to say it's a malt. I think it's a finished single malt. Where from? I have no clue, dude. I don't know. I'm going to say 7 to 8 years. Proof on it, I'm going to say 115. Yeah, I'm gonna say malt. I think there's something malty about that. It's either a malt or it's a high malt to me. Maybe it's not a malt. Maybe it just has a weird finish on it. It's either a malt or it's a bourbon with a weird finish. That's where I'm going. All right. This one I did not like. And I still don't like it. It tastes young. It's grainy. Is that a rye? It's not Chattanooga. It's not chocolatey enough to be Chattanooga. I don't think it's a rye. I think it's a young bourbon. It reminds me of like a young Heaven Hill or a young Beam. So I'm just gonna go with that. Heaven Hill or maybe Beam. Maybe it's like a young Heaven Hill or Beam like barrel pick from somewhere. But it drinks a little bit spicy too. So I mean proof, I don't know. 117 maybe. Could be a little bit lighter than that. But now I've had a lot of proofy shit, so your power ballad should be don't know what you got till it's gone. Oh, Night Method. That's good. You know what? That song would kind of work. That's going to be the thing. Like when that bottle releases, I want people to actually put on their favorite power ballad and take a sip of it and just try it. I think the flavors in it are going to really be unique to each and every person that tries it. There's just so much going on with the rich fruit, the dark fruit characteristics, your cherry, your grape. Then you get like the heavy oak and it's all this spice on the back end of it. I think you guys will enjoy it. And then there's this weird thing. This is definitely a finished something. I think it's a finished whiskey, possibly a finished bourbon. You know, I'm not getting rye vibes on any of these, so I'm not sure. If one of these is a rye, I mean, there could be, but I'm not getting. When I try to find rye, I look for clove. I'm not really getting heavy clove in any of this. Hey, I don't mind a couple of Taylor Swift songs. I don't like a lot of her songs, but there's a couple that I kind of dig. But that's not what Power Ballad is for. It's not for Taylor Swift assholes. So Nathan, I see you. This is either toasted or Tony Martin says prayers for a good friend, Keith, a lifelong drummer from the late 70s. Doctor removed his right leg earlier this week. Medical necessary. I wish the best for him in these difficult times. Cheers to Keith, man. That sounds, as a lifelong drummer, that's really tough to lose a leg. Wow. I wouldn't even know how to process that as a drummer. But cheers, man. Give our best to your friend Keith, honestly. I think Drum Key should provide playlists for each release. It's kind of cool. You know, maybe I will do that for Power Ballad. I like that idea. I'll curate my own little playlist just to listen to with the whiskey. This is a lower proof to me. I think it's a finished bourbon. I think it's around 110 proof, I'll say. Age on it, I don't think it's that old. I might go 7 years on that. And where is it from? I don't know. I guess I'll just say MGP. MGP, maybe? Okay. All right, Big Vic. This is your time to shine, buddy. What is in sample number 1? I say 10-year MGP 120 bourbon. What do we got? Yeah, Journey is definitely going to be on that. Buck's brother just said, power ballad. Turn on your favorite ballad, crush whiskey, start crying, call the old girlfriend. Maybe it should be called Regretful Night. I fucking love it. I will curate a really cool, put a QR code with the link. Yes, I'm doing that. That's a cool idea. I'm doing that. I could definitely come up with a killer playlist for it, for sure. Shit, it's the Fault Line. Fault Line, what did I say? 10 years, NGP. I said 120, it's 118, and it's bourbon. I'm just going to quit right now. I'm stopping because I fucking nailed that. Nailed it. I'm done. I'm walking out. I'm walking away. I don't know. I don't want to know what the rest is because I'm probably wrong, but I nailed the first one. I'm done. I'm walking out. Thanks, Vic. Thanks for the opportunity, sir. Holy shit. Russell's 45th anniversary opinion. Better than last year. Not nearly as good as batches like 1 through 5. It's not in that echelon. But I do think it's better than last year's. But I also still don't think it's better than Camp Nelson E from Single Rick House. I don't think it's better than Russell's 15. I don't think it's better than Beacon, and I don't think it's better than Archives. So take with that what you will. Mic drop. Because it's your birthday, I'm attempting to work and sip on some Booker's 2025-01. Wish me luck. Sean, do not operate heavy machinery, please. Just like the advent calendar, nailed it. Okay, number 2. I said 12-year, Heaven Hill, 121 proof, and bourbon. This is where it's going to go bad. What do we got, Vic? Happy birthday, bro. Gomez. Thanks, Whiskey Reaper. Big Vic. B is 9.5 year, 75, 13, 12. So that's either turkey or beam. So I said beam when I first tried this. Yeah, I should have stuck with beam. When I go back to it, it's beam. I would switch to Heaven Hill, but it's beam. It tastes older, actually, than 9.5. I would go 12 on that. 121, it's 114. That drinks more than that. Okay, but it is bourbon. Got it? That's pretty cool. Dude, it's a rare character. I hope that thing is not $400, because if it is, it's awful. Okay, I did say it was beam in the beginning, so I think it's definitely beam. It's not turkey. It's beam. I should have fucking kept beam. Now I'm pissed I switched to Heaven Hill. I should have kept it beam. If you go back, I said I think it's Jim Beam. I did say it, if you remember. Okay, so I was off on the proof on that one, but pretty good. Pretty good. Actually, yeah, I named it bourbon. I was a little off on proof and age. There you go. All right, number 3. I said it's a finished bourbon or finished single malt. I said it was like 7 or 8 years old and 115 proof. What do we got on C, Big Vic? I'm scared of this one because this one is a little bit crazy. Is that the hot dog bottle? If he said me, I got that dog in me, that'd be wild. Yeah, Heaven Hill and Beam are very close sometimes, so I'm good with that. If I called it Heaven Hill and it's Beam, then I'm good with that. Or if it was Beam and it was Heaven Hill, it could be close. Oh, for sure. They're very adjacent. C is Cock of the Walk, 8.5 years old. I said 7 to 8. I said 115. It's 110. It's a wheat heavy char Heaven Hill. Wheat. So I said that too. It's either single malt or it's something wheated because it's got that weird funk to it. Wheat makes so much sense, Vic, on that sample. Wheat makes so much sense on that. It's got that weird funk. It actually came off a little single malty to me. It's very floral, honey, fruit forward. Maybe that heavy char is what's giving me that little bit of like a weird thing on the back end. And what made it so, because I wrote down, this is the one that I was writing down like sweet tarts and fun dip, and it's like really sugary sweet. The fact that it's a wheater makes so much sense. Okay, cool. B is turkey? No way that's turkey. There's no way that's turkey. That's the nuttiest. That's the nuttiest turkey I've ever tasted. That's a nutty turkey. Yeah, we can do that single malty thing. Homie, did I not say? I thought I saw. I said something. Something was weeded. Something tasted weedy. Maybe it wasn't. Okay. Larceny Juice. I did score 2022 Russell 13 when work trip Monday. Let's see. Then I'm mad Vic didn't make Cock of the Walk sample D. Yeah, missed opportunity. All right, the last two I have no clue, dude. So I put Young, Heaven Hill or Beam 117 proof. I was not a fan of whatever D is. So what is D? You did, Jason, the first time through, not the second. Okay, so the first time through, I said wheat. Okay. Some of the NDP turkey stuff floating around is bad. Sawdust and Nutty as Hell. There are good barrels in those lots, but few. Cam, you're completely right. There is a bunch of turkey barrels at Barrel King that I tasted through every single one of them, and most of them, 95% of them, taste exactly like you said. They're sawdusty. There's just not a lot of depth to it. So yeah, they're nutty. You're completely right. D is Knob Creek Beam Tack, 9.5 year, 120 proof. I wrote 117 proof. I wrote Young Beam. That's Beam Tack? I literally wrote Beam. Maybe on its own, Vic, this could be really good. But when you're filtering in all these other ones, it came off young. 9.3 years. Yeah, I wrote 8 years old. Okay. And then the last one. Okay, oh wait, what's E? Trader Joe's Cask Head 100 proof Barton 4 year plus 6 month in PX. What did I write? Finished bourbon 7 years. It's actually 4 years 6 months. I wrote finished bourbon 110 7 years. It's Barton. I wrote MGP, but it's Barton. Dude, I did pretty good on this. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yep. Trader freaking Joe's. Yeah, what the hell's Cask Head? Is that what they called it? Cask Head? That's terrible. What time is it? It's 10:56. We're going OT, baby. All right, guys. I have a bunch of whiskeys in here. Give me your best. By the way, Vic, thanks for sending that. That was pretty cool. I'm glad I got some of that pretty spot on. Jason, you did really well. Yeah, I think I did pretty good on that. OT, Cask Head is what you get after Power Bottom. Actually, Cam, I'm going to be messaging you really soon. I have an important question to ask you, so I'll be in touch probably tomorrow. Big Vic says, you on point, bro. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a very good blind, very different for sure. A lot of different stuff in there. Kind of crazy. Beam Tack kind of fell flat, though, when you're talking about the entire the blind. It just didn't do a lot. Look forward to I'll be changing diapers. Says, yeah, Jumping Drams, I hope you're doing good with your little girl. Yeah, congrats to Cam. Just had a new little baby girl, so congrats, man. You're a girl dad now. That's awesome. C923 versus the best of this year. I kind of like that idea. What would be the best of this year, though? Heaven Hill 22 year might kind of crush that. All right, guys, give me some ideas here. What do you want to see compare? Let's go. I know you guys have ideas. I'm gonna look at some of my last things here. We have Peerless 10, Old Grandad 114, Elijah Craig 15, Stag 25D, Heaven Hill 22, Old Forester 1924, Elijah Craig. Well, we kind of did the Rise last week. I don't think we really need to do that this week anymore. So let's see here. Heaven Hill Heritage 17. Yeah, I kind of did that. That was a wild blind. Peerless 10 year, Russell's 13. Let's see, what do you guys got here? Heaven Hill 22 and Austin Nichols, Cheesy Gold Foil. I feel like I did that already, not that long ago. Revisit the... I think I know what I wanted to crack open. Let me go grab that. Got to do these... Yeah, I haven't even opened that yet. Cheesy Gold Foil, Revisit. Like the original Cheesy Gold Foil or the Cheesy Gold Foil? EC15 versus KC15 versus... Oh, that's kind of interesting. You guys up for that? My daughter is 30, nothing better than being a girl dad, says Tim Cudahenser. There you go. Peerless 10 versus Rare Perfection 10. Heaven Hill 22. I already did that in a whole video, Irving Larry. You can watch that. Always loved your ECBP reviews. Yep. Cam had an Oakley bottle he sent to Junkie. Sounded fire. Oh, that was probably the Heaven Hill, the crazy Heaven Hill ones that they released. Jason, you deserve to treat yourself to some Chateau de la Baude. Oh my God. All right, I have a bottle I've been wanting to crack open. Let me grab that. I'll be right back, guys. This bottle's pretty wild. Hold on. Sorry, guys, I have to go in the bunker. Hold on. All right. This is a little bit unconventional. Some unconventional. Why is there mustard on the bar? That makes sense. It is kind of mustardy. I'm going to put the drum key right up front there. There you go. Drum key rye. All right, guys. So we have some bottles here. I've been waiting to open these. I just sat on the couch with a pour of Old Line Swim Call. It's a 92 proof blend and a rum single. Okay, cool, man. That sounds awesome. Haven't tried that. I knew the Chateau would get. I didn't pull the Chateau, but I did pull this. Check this out, guys. Franklin Distillery single barrel, 20 years, 138.5 proof. This is almost hazmat Dickel at 20 years old. That's right. Almost hazmat Dickel at 20 years old. This doesn't happen. You don't see this very often. I don't know how this happened, but it happened. Bottle number 8 of, I think, like 30. I've had this for quite a while. Thanks to Trav for helping me grab this bottle. And then I was offered this bottle. Now, I generally don't do Willet. But if you look at the top here, you'll see why I grabbed this bottle. I don't know if you could read that. Family Estate bottle single barrel, aged in selected white oak barrels for 8 years. 140.4 proof. However, I believe where does it say the estate tour? So this is an estate tour bottle. This is Willet French oak. This is a Willet in French oak. Just telling you guys right now. I got this as a got this from someone. There's only 138 bottles of this. This is a 100 Dude. Yeah, it's happening. We're going to crack these open right now, and we're going to try them. Some of those 20-year Dickles, 140. Awesome. Throw Flintstone Vitamin, the Willet, to make it fair. Hazmat. Yes, great choice. Holy smokes. Yeah, we're gonna get into both of these right now. I really want to try. Look how dark this Willet is. I want to thank my buddy Matt Bunch for getting me this over at Barrel King. He did the whole tour. So it says aged in hand-selected white oak barrels for 8 years, but it's French oak. So that's why I wanted it. Look at how dark it is, guys. Look at the beautiness. Look at the beauty of it all. Oh, baby. There we go. All right. We're ringing in age 49. Damn, bro, stay vertical, my friend. Oh, it's so beautiful. I did not think I would actually open this, but I'm opening it. Oh, my God. It looks like freaking coffee. Guys, look at how dark that is. Oh, my gosh. Oh, look at it. It is dark as night. There you go. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Willet does this. There's like kind of a secret tour that they do, and you have a chance to buy all these crazy bottles from them. But the only way to get on the tour is you have to get nominated or you have to get recommended by someone that already did the tour previously. So if someone went on the tour and you're interested in going, you could go on the tour next time if they recommend you, and get on it. So this bottle came from that, and holy shit! All right, French Oak Willet. Here we go. Happy 49th to me. Holy freak, that's proofy. That's a proofy lady. What are your thoughts on the VOSN Super Freak, says Buttercuts. VOSN Super Freak? Can't say I've had that. Happy birthday, Jason. Birthday wish I sent your way. Been a while, my friend. Everwin, so good to see you, man. Will it just makes life too difficult? Yes, it does. This is full of clove. Clove and dark fruit. That's what this is. You guys know when I say, and I call out clove, I call out A1 steak sauce or Leon Perrin's Worcestershire sauce. That's what this is. But there's a dark fruit figginess to it on top of the clove. Holy shit. This thing is dark. 20-year and hazmat Willet. I used to day. I just say that's nice. Oh, very old Saint Nick. Very old Saint Nick Super Freak. I have not had that. Have not had that. Watch yo sister sauce. Have you had? I haven't. You know, Buttercuts. I just haven't had a chance to try a lot of those very old Saint Nicks. The latest one I got from that distillery was the Rare Perfection 10-year. Oh my God. It's like somebody poured that is the wildest thing I've ever tasted. I've never had anything like that. That is freaking crazy. That is such a crazy profile. But it is French oaky. It's got a lot of tannins and spiky oak to it, but this is the best way I could describe this, guys. This will make sense, sort of, I think. You guys know balsamic vinegar, right? If you take raspberry-infused balsamic vinegar, and you blend that with like an A1 steak sauce, and then give it like a super high proof and give it also these caramel, vanilla, dark bourbony notes along with it. That's what that is. It sounds like a weird combination, but that is exactly what I'm tasting. Hey, buon compleanno. Grazie. The Master Drum, you should hit up the Scotch for Dummies. The 2 Cedar Ridge bottlings they did are amazing. Cedar Ridge is doing some amazing American. So malts, the peated apricot is the bomb. Everyone, we did 2 amazing Cedar Ridges last year. The American single malt we did was a Amontillado finish, and it was my favorite pick we did last year. Was the Cedar Ridge PX Amontillado. Incredible barrel we picked. It was our first American single malt we did. It completely sold out, and everybody loved that pick. So everyone, I'm all over Cedar Ridge. We've done 4 barrels with them. We would love to get back to them this year. So hopefully we do. I think it is more savory than sweet, Justin Jenkins. The more I go to this, the more heavy it is on the savory characteristic, and I think that definitely comes from the French oak. I think it's just completely what's the word I'm looking for? Infusing it with tons of savory baking spice. That thing's crazy. You would think that if I was having that blind, I would say it's a rye. But I think the French oak gave it so much savory character that it is just completely taking over. It's a bourbon. It's a French oak bourbon, but I think the French oak is so deep and dark, it is completely giving it rye vibes. That's a good blind. Best up-and-coming distillery, Sagamore, New Riff, Chattanooga, Cedar Ridge, Woodinville. Best offerings from each. That's a good idea. Man, I would probably Woodinville. I haven't had like a good Woodinville that I've liked a lot. I served that Amontillado Cedar Ridge to serious Scotch ringers and it blew them away. That Amontillado barrel that we selected was so stupid good. I could not talk about it, more. Will it is high rye in it? Yeah, I think the high rye is definitely bringing that savoriness, but I think that the overall the whatchamacallit, I think the French oak is just putting more of that in that. Okay. Yep, French oak is spice and sometimes dark fruit. So now this is the 20. Oh my God, it's another dark beast. This is the 20-year hazmat, almost hazmat, Dickel. Let's see how vitamin it is. That's a word. So the Willet was, I believe it was $250 to $300 for this bottle. Oh, holy shit. So, God, these could not be more different. Oh my God, 2 birthday bottles. I'm so glad I opened these with you guys. This is a lot of fun. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely Dickel. It is Dickel to the max. Wow, but you know what? Here's the thing with Dickel. If you guys have ever been lucky enough to taste Dickel at a higher age, Dickel can get like this dark blood orange, citrusy type of profile to it to go along with it. It doesn't seem to ever really lose that Flintstone vitamin note. And I get that. People have an aversion to it. It happens. But this, it gives you that, but it also gives you like these dark, rich citrus, almost fig type flavors, like a fig Newton on the nose. Woodinville equals trash. Yeah, dude, there are some people that do not like Woodinville. Woodinville rye last year, or was it the year before? Maybe it was, I think it was last year. That 10-year rye that they released, there are people that either loved it or hated it. I was on the hated it side. Let me, in the chat, did you guys try that? Did you love it, hate it? It literally tasted like Elmer's glue and Sharpie marker to me. It was freaking awful. But there are some people that actually really loved it and thought it was unique and different, but that was not my profile. So did you guys in the chat, did anybody try that crazy rye? I was just about to say I got a single barrel rye. So Alphabet Man, I've had single barrel ryes. We've selected single barrel ryes that have been fantastic. But that particular 10-year rye was so weird and so it tasted chemical. I just couldn't do it. Their OG rye shines. Yeah, for sure. Marty loved it with his dip. Well, that makes sense. All right, let me get into this because this smells. This might be the first time I'm ever getting a milk chocolate note in a Dickel, which is kind of wild when you think about it. Let me give it a try. Holy hot Dickel. Dear Lord. So even coming off the Willet, that drink's hot. But, oh dear Lord. Oh. Okay. So the magic of this happens all on the finish. The front is hot. The front is hot and it's dickly. I'm not going to lie. It is hot and it is dickly. The back end of this, though, is beautiful. You get the oak, you get the age, you get a Luxardo cherry syrup note to go along with the citrus on the back end of this. That just makes the experience, it kind of saves it, to be honest, because the front is so harsh. Dear Lord. Jason said hold for the Dickel trickle. It does give you the Dickel tickles. Same thing. Oh my gosh, the finish on that. I don't think I've ever gotten something so buttery and so dark fruit forward on a George Dickel before. This thing's insane. I mean, you got to get through that first pour, which is really hot. But once you get used to it, this thing just takes off. Holy 49th birthday, Batman. That thing is crazy. Have you tried Pure Antique, some actually good 20-year-old Dickel? I have not, because I think the price is just insane for it. So, I mean, this is a great call out. Henry Turner. There are George Dickel picks out there that are 17, 18 years old at this point that are $65. Why am I paying $400 for the old antique 20 year? I can't do it. Try with a drop or two of water. See what it does. All right, let's do that. Okay. Let's see if it opens it up at all. Do a couple little drops of water here. Maybe you try the Dickel and a little beaver.
Nice beaver.
Thank you. I just had it stuffed.
You guys said beaver. I had to play it. Shit. Okay. Whoa. It definitely opened up. So a couple drops of water actually opened up the dark fruit a little bit more, which is kind of nice. Mine is the Woodinville, is the 8-year 100% rye. I thought it was very good. Never had the 10-year rye. I quote that shit regularly, says Mark Hemmenecker. Yeah, you know what? Couple drops of water made it even better. It kind of mellowed out a little bit of the alcohol, but it also brought out some of those flavors I was getting on the back end. The dark cherry, the Luxardo cherry syrup, the dark citrus, and it brought it a little bit more to the forefront. So, dude, hell yeah. Let me try that with the Willet real quick. Let me see if some water changes up this Willet. If you're going to the Bardstown Blitz this year, guys, I might bring these bottles to the Bardstown Blitz for you guys to try. I think it's really, really unique. Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. The water made this so much better. It's straight up raspberry now. It's like dark black raspberry on the nose. Holy shit. Oh, that is... I mean, oh my God. Yeah. Palate still stayed kind of the same. It definitely brightened up the nose. It brought more of the raspberry forefront to the nose, but the palate is still like steak sauce and raspberry balsamic vinegar and clove and all of that in that. But this 20-year Franklin Dickel is actually really surprising. Interesting. Is it more sherry tasting? Says Tunes. I think for the Willet, it helped bring out the raspberry on the nose, but I think the palate is still very savory for sure. Like Overholt 12 raspberry, Whiskey Habit, more raspberry than that. More of like a what has some like crazy raspberry like that? I'm trying like I can't remember I've had such a heavy raspberry note in something like this. This is probably the most distinct raspberry I've had in quite a while. Scotch drinkers nearly always add water. That's true. Anyone tried the Booker's Jerry's batch? Just bought a bottle. Oh, real quick before we head out, guys, has anyone bought or gotten to try the Booker's the second release for this year, which is the milkshake? Has anyone tried it or been able to find one? I'm curious because if you name a batch milkshake, that shit better be delicious. And if somebody in here has tried it and is like, it's not that great, I'm going to be pissed. It's in Wisconsin. How do you know it's in Wisconsin? JD 14 batch 1. Oh, yes, that's Caleb. Holy shit, that's such a good call out. That is probably the most raspberry I've had. That's definitely the closest raspberry for sure. Great call out, Caleb. Caleb, you get a gold star for tonight. Yeah, I've gotten definitely some raspberry on some Driftless Glen single barrels for sure. I think that definitely resonates. Haven't tried the second batch, but the first is incredible. My milkshake brings my whiskey to the yard. I was waiting for that. Egg roll. Egg roll got the milkshake? There's definitely a raspberry cherry, but it almost gets medicinal, I think, which kind of ruins it for me a little bit sometimes. My milkshake scares everyone. I had some raspberries today, says Corn and Whiskey. Oh, man. It's on the shelf. Yeah, I have to try that bottle. I'm hoping it hits here soon. A lot of people have been asking me to review it, but I just haven't seen it yet. The Booker's releases have been very late, at least here in Ohio. So, all right, guys, I'm going to call it a night. This was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes, for the super chats, for all the great support, as always. Guys, I will be live next week. I'm going to be bringing on a special guest. I'll let you know that as we get closer. It's going to be a fun night. Just talk kind of bourbon, I guess, kind of just looking at the bourbon landscape in general, where it's going. Going to have a great special guest talk about their newest release. And then I won't see you for a couple weeks after that because of, I'll be traveling. But guys, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I love all of you. We had about 450 people in the chat, a good amount of the night. It was a lot of fun. So cheers. I will see you guys next week with a special guest. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey. It's the people you share it with. Cheers, guys. And I will see you next week right here on the Master and Drum. Cheers, guys. Patrons, I will see you on the after party real soon. Cheers.